This is the second tutorial in our series on how to caption images once you have them uploaded to the NewsPhoto system. So at this point you've already uploaded images to NewsPhoto and you're ready to start captioning. What we're going to do first off is select a lead image. This is the image that appears on the NewsPhoto. It's the thumbnail that appears on the NewsPhoto homepage and on many of the category pages as well. Usually you want to select the best image you can from an assignment to represent the whole group. So a folder can contain thousands of images if you want from one assignment, or it can contain, in this case we have 7. So what we're going to do is select from this 7. We're going to select this person right here, and it's going to open up a captioning page. And this is one caption on this page. Now if we wanted to share information that was on this caption with customized captions for all 7 images, what we could do is reload this page with 5 or 6 or 7 or all the other images from the group. And as we type into these fields, the other fields will be filled automatically. Now this is only necessary to set it up this way if you want to then customize each caption. If you want them all to be identical, we have a separate function to do that. And what we usually do for very large takes is, rather than doing individual captioning for each one, we just assign them all the same bulk caption for the entire group. So what I'm going to do is set this up for just the one caption, and we'll go through the process of captioning. So this is going to be the default representative image for the entire group, and that's what this means. So this thumbnail is going to appear on the home page and on all the category pages, and it's going to be the lead image for the entire group of 7. For public display, yes. If you clicked on no, it wouldn't appear for public display, but it would still get captioned. This is an urgent story that needs immediate attention. Yes. It'll only allow you to click that is if you have it for public display. If it's not for public display, you don't have that option. So this also means that we're going to be notified that we need to get in here because there's a deadline story that needs to be edited and published immediately. Time of day. This is the time of day when the captioning first started. This is the date the captioning was first started. And the date taken is entirely different. That's the date that the assignment was shot. So we're going to say, for this case here, we're going to go to the 22nd of November 2009, and that's set. Now select category. We're going to set it for sports, and that'll change the subcategories, and we're going to set it for football, and the country is United States, and New York is the state, and Garden City. GPS data. This is optional. Probably in the future we'll make this a little bit more specific, but this would be the longitude and latitude of the location, and then we're going to tie this eventually into probably Google Maps as well, so that when a person goes on and starts viewing these images, if they want to view a Google map of the location where it was shot or the event took place, they'd be able to very quickly get in there because you supplied the GPS data. Photographer's name. This is the name that the account is under. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you could have multiple photographers under one account. So let's say you're a photo agency and you have 5 photographers. Each photographer could just enter their personal account. It's going to be under the main photo agency account, but it's going to credit each individual photographer based on the information that's in this field. Headline, we want at least 140 characters because we feed this to Twitter. And the caption. This is very, very important on the caption. This is basically a minimum of 175 words. It's the minimum requirement for us to publish this information, because we feed this to news services that have a minimum 175 word requirement. So you want this to give the who, what, why, when, and where. This is very, very important. You can also include, if you're shooting major sporting events, you can include rosters for each teams. A lot of keyword stuff is dropped into this. All the highlights of the event can be dropped in here. It's a minimum of 175 words, but you can make it as long as you want. And the word count will appear here as you're typing in as well. You'll see this. So I've got 2 words. The system is registering 2 words. It's not going to let you process this until all 175 words have been put through. It goes very quickly, especially if you're putting in basic information, the location, things like that. Keywords. So we're going to put in football. Oops. And we're going to put in Garden City. And we're going to put in, varsity. And we should probably get rid of one of these O's, huh? And you can just keep on putting as many keywords in here. Now the keywords are used for search engine optimization. They're going to end up appearing in the URLs, in the meta tags, and a lot of different areas on the system, as well as being sent to the partner news sites that are publishing this data. So it's very important that you fill in these keyword fields. Model releases available? No, we have no model releases for this. It's an editorial event. Is there a large file size available? Yes. Watermark? Yes. Now the watermark is set in your photographer's dashboard area, so you would do that prior. It's set once, the system recognizes it, so you have the option of turning it on and off. You can then customize it at another time if you want to. You can change it to whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to leave the watermark set for yes. Do you have restrictions on the use of this image? I certainly do. And then you could type in here what those restrictions are. I just leave it as it is, blank, and have them come to me for those restrictions. Please select all of the purchase options you would offer for this. So I'm going to offer these images for prints for personal use, and I'm also going to offer them license for editorial use. So Sports Illustrated for Kids comes to me and says, we'd like to license that picture of that man. I would say, yes, you can do that for editorial use. Private notes. This is any images, any notes you'd like to share with yourself. This does not get viewed by the public about this particular image. Offer date. Offer date. What we do on the system, if you want to use this feature, is to give a commission, not a commission, but a discount for early purchase of the image. So if they buy it within 5 days, 7 days, 4 days, you get to set you can give them a discount of whatever you want. It could be 10, 15, 20, 30%, 5%, whatever you want to do. So in this case, starting from 2009-11, well, I'll just use the one that's already here. We'll go 22. Starting from this date for 5 days, do you wish to save this information for the next caption? Yes, we can do that. That's the starting offer date. That is the date that the discount is going to start from. You can set it to whatever you want. So if you want to upload it now and then have the start date appear maybe 2 days after it's uploaded, you can do that as well. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you have that option. Offer discount price for 7 days. And what's the discount you want to give them if they buy within those first 7 days? Well, I'm going to say 10%. Again, you can change it to whatever you want. Now we have another option on the system where if we have an agreement with a school or organization, none of these schools right now are actually doing anything with us. They're just listed here for testing purposes. But if that organization would like to has an agreement with you, a contractual agreement for a kickback on sales, then you can designate that here. You'd have to click on the name of the school, and then you'd have to put in what the commission is. 10%, let's say. So every time a sale is made, the system would recognize that sale and keep a tally for that particular school of what you owe them at the end of the year. And then, not the end of the year, but at the end of whatever period you want to set. In this case, it would be 10%. And so let's say the kids are out of school. At the end of the year, you tabulate everything up and you give the school maybe, I don't know, $200 in commissions that they've made from sales, from helping you, from allowing you into the field, from all kinds of things. So that's another option that's available in the system. Now, as I mentioned before earlier, you can copy this captioning information that we've just created here to all of the images in this group. So if you have 1,000 images and you don't want to caption them all individually, you can take this one main caption and assign it to every single image in the group by just clicking on copy to all images in this group. If you want to just submit this one caption and go on to the next one, you click on submit. If you want to clear the whole thing, you click on reset. And that's pretty much all there is to the captioning. The one thing that occurs after you've submitted this is that if you've signed this for public display, it's going to go to an editing station where an editor then has to review it to make sure everything is okay. And he may do some minor editing to captioning, things like that. And then he or she will okay it and submit it to the system and all of our news partners as well. So there may be a brief delay between the time when you submit this and the time that it appears on the site. But we are notified when you upload these captions. Now, if you're going to not submit it for public display, it's going to be immediately available to you on the system. And that's pretty much it for the captioning.